If ever a city could lay claim to being multi-ethnic, multicultural, and multi-religious, then surely Tbilisi, capital of Georgia, would be among the front runners. Bursting with spectacular architecture, it's easy to find Georgian Orthodox, Armenian Gregorian, and Roman Catholic churches a short walk from a synagogue, a mosque, and a Zoroastrian temple. But quite apart from the sightseeing, we're in Tbilisi for the 2018 edition of the Tbilisi Grand-Prix, and we're about to get underway with all the medal matches in the final block. We're going to begin with the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 48 kilo category, and this features Sarah Menezes of Brazil. She's up against Kimberly Rennicks of Great Britain. It'll be Menezes in blue and Rennicks in white. The referee in the middle for this one is Vladimir Nutsubidze of Georgia, and with commentary on this and all the medal matches, it's a very warm welcome to former world champion Loretta Cusack-Doyle. Good afternoon, Loretta.
Good afternoon, Sheldon, and yes, we're in for a real treat this afternoon, starting with the under 48 kilo first bronze medal match. And two of these young ladies, I say young ladies, but with a lot of maturity under their belt. Menezes, Olympic champion back in 2012 at the London Games. And she's up against, from Great Britain, Kimberly Rennicks. Now, Menezes, 28 years of age, Rennicks, 31 years of age. Now, looking at the statistics of both these athletes, well, there is a lot of more matches under the belt of the Brazilian. That experience and those results.
You mentioned London in 2012, where Menezes was the gold medalist. Who was it that fought for Great Britain at 48? Can you remember? I can't. Whoops.
Oh gosh, now that's put me on the spot. I have to think on that one again.
Single Shido picked up by Menezes. She flirted with the under 52 kilo category for a while, but she's back down now at 48 and looks none the worse for wear for it, moving nicely, looks strong enough.
No, she's she looks very comfortable out there. She's obviously, well, there's a lot of experience for this lady. She's 28 years of age, so over the years has learned to stabilize her weight quite professionally, which you have to. It's such a lightweight, isn't it, that you cannot afford to not do that sensibly. It would drain you so much in fighting at this pace. And that was a lovely drop Sianagi there from Menezes. Well, some positive remarks there from the coach. Luke Preston, a former international athlete himself in his own right. Knows what he's talking about, has produced some fine athletes in his time. Kimberly with over 15 World Cup medals, and just recent a 5th in The Hague, just the end of last year. But rose to fame at the Commonwealth Games, where she took a gold medal for Scotland when Glasgow were the hosts of that event, along with her sister Louise, who fought in the weight above, taking a gold medal. A real battle of grips here going on, as a real feisty match between both these athletes. Brazilian not getting it all her own way, even though on paper, statistically, is the stronger of the two athletes, and with such a remarkable track record of success. Louise battles on, but walks straight onto that Sianagi, and that's cost her dearly. She picks up, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it was an ippon, but definitely a very good Wazari. As you can see, made the mistake of diving forward onto her opponent. Not the wisest thing to do when someone has already shown you quite a few of those Sianagis. The Koichigari there, again, scoring Awuzari Eseti Ippon.
Second score for Menezes means that it's a successful return to the under 48 kilo category, albeit a bronze medal. She will be happy with that Grand Prix bronze medal. Why not?
Oh, definitely. Well, Menezes didn't actually come into this competition as the number one seed, did she? Which is obviously a surprise. Well, isn't a surprise when she's been dabbling with another weight category and been out of the limelight of 48 kilos. But defeated Nikolic, the number one seed, in the semi-final. Or was defeated by Nikolic in the quarterfinals. And that's what popped her down into the repechage.
Yeah, all of last year, 2017, she'd fought at 52, under 52 kilos. And then from Paris of this year, she was back down to 48. So this is a second run out at 48. And maybe she did the right thing to fight all last year at one weight, nice and relaxed, and be fresh for this.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Right, coming up next, the second of the bronze medal matches. Melanie Clement of France faces Noah Minsker of Israel. It's Clement in the white judogi, Minsker in blue.
Well, Minsker obviously has the upper hand in this, going into this match, has defeated Clement once before, and obviously we'll know that. But again, we're talking at this tournament today, we've had some amazing performances from most of these athletes in the under 48s. Clement being one of them, and was defeated by Louise Renix in the quarterfinals, but battled her way in the repechage to now stand here rightly placed to fight for a bronze medal here.
The referee in the middle for this one is Cho Min-sun of the Republic of Korea.
Minsker defeated by Nikolic in the semi-final. Will be very determined to take home that bronze medal. Clement picked up a bronze medal in Düsseldorf this year. Well, both taking a very strong one-handed grip at the moment, both opting for the lapel grip, as you can see there. Clement using her feet quite nicely there to try and break up her opponent's balance. Minsker picks up the first Shido. Clement slightly taller than her opponent, gets the first grip, comes over the top to trap her opponent's right side, hooks in with the Uchimata. Both looking to take that second grip off the sleeve. Neither one of them managing to do it, but Clement then capitalized as Minsker tried to turn out. And her feet just got swept from under her. As you can see there. Shibara now following through into the Niwaza. Well, sadly for Minsker, she opted to turn out because she'd locked her arm up in a position that was uncomfortable and focused on the pain of the arm and left herself vulnerable for the throw.
Just the single Shido against Minska. We're inside the last 2 minutes.
Lucy Ducoste there, Olympic champion, as the coach for France.
2 versus 4, isn't it here? Melanie Clement this morning, number 2 seed.
Yes.
Noah Minska, the number 4.
Minska coming in, those hips through. Winding her opponent onto the hips, just fell short of getting that lift, but nevertheless, a good entry. Minska obviously battling away to stay in control. As you can see, Clement has that long arm over the top. The left hand draws onto the back, drawing her opponent down onto her knees, making the Israeli look pretty passive there. And this is where Minska's got to just stay upright. Keep the space between her and obviously that left hand, try and control it from coming over the top, where it draws her head down, making her look very poor indeed. Clement circling action around her opponent. Gets the left hand on the lapel, but throws that left hand then, changes the grip, throws it round the back once more, putting Minska into a difficult situation. The head goes down and it drops her to her knees. Well, there you have it, the second Shido for that very action. Clement once again trying to get that left hand over the top. Minska trying to control it as much as she can. Seems to be playing a bit of a chasing game. Doesn't get past the defences of the French athlete. This is always the problem when your opponent's that little bit taller than you. You tend to look like you're always on the receiving end, and they look much more upright and dominant within the contest. Minska really has to now start to take control, use her feet a little bit more cleverly. Try and avoid that left hand from coming over the top. Would make such a difference in this contest.
Well, there's no positive score in normal time, so we're going to have a period of extra time now. Golden score, the first to score will win, although Minska, having picked up 2 penalties, if she picks up a third, she'll be given hand sokomake, and that'll be the end of the contest. So she's got to avoid picking up another penalty.
And there you have it in the situation there, as you've got Clement. Oh, yes, and that was one of the first strongest attacks there from the Israeli. And this time she went in the right direction. She attacked that left hand that has been causing her so many problems throughout this contest. The left that's been dominating, and now she's really starting to change the tactics slightly on this contest. An attempt of a Sutemi Waza there from Clement wasn't as effective as I think she was hoping for.
A little bit loose, wasn't it?
She did, yeah, it was very loose, but she did get the movement against her opponent and drew her down to the ground. But for Clement, that was a poor attack there. Now coming into the first minute.
You get very little leeway in the golden score period. Simple error will put you out, so both fighters have got to be very careful here. Minska in particular, because she's already picked up 2 penalties.
Well, Clement trying to get that left hand once more over the head, controlling her opponent, trying to draw her down, making her look very passive. And that way the tactics for the French. For Minska, she's got to really, we've seen it already, she had the Ippon-Seoinage, where she actually attacked that left side. Is she confident enough to do it? Well, this is looking a bit tighter, but she comes in once more, drops under the left.
Just in time.
For the Seoinage, but again, rightly so, Sheldon, just in time.
And with just enough effort to move Clement, so it was a valid attack.
Once more, Clement with that left hand again that's causing so many problems for the Israeli. She's backing off. She's got to be careful here. And, oh, she seems to be rubbing her elbows if it was a lock, but she was doing that herself, really. That defensive action locked the elbow. So it was just, well, there's a takedown there. A ploy to get her into the Niwaza. Looking to take the arm lock. So Minska really has to start being clever. She's starting to look a little bit tired, but she needs to open up, use these feet a lot better. Create some opportunities for herself so that she can drop in underneath. That was a poor drop. The hips didn't come in deep enough. And she's got to be so careful in executing attacks like that.
Just gets away with that. It was on the edge, on the limit, I think.
On the left hand once more, you can see it across over the head, drawing the head down onto the belt. Sutemi was a Sumigeshi over the top.
And Clement gets away with that grip on one side because she attacked immediately.
Yes.
So that was a good little effort there. And I think that Minska will pick up the penalty for passivity. Just fell off the pace there.
Yes.
And it's Clement.
It was always going to be very difficult for Minska. Having that height difference just made her look so much more passive in this contest. And that left hand plagued her right from the beginning. It just dominated throughout the whole contest.
Yeah, Clement on this occasion was the better of the two. Had she lost to her previously, or I don't remember what the head-to-heads were. Okay. All right, Melanie Clement of France it is who takes the second of the bronze medals. We'll be back in a moment with the final. And it was Kelly Edwards who fought at 48 in London.
So it was.
Yeah. Right, coming up next, the final of the under 48 kilo category. Milica Nikolic of Serbia faces Maruša Stanger of Slovenia. It's Nikolic in the white judogi, Stanger in blue.
Well, Nikolic, world rank number 6 to her opponent 30. Never fought each other on this stage, but both have battled their ways through to this final. Great performances from both athletes. This will turn out to be a very interesting match indeed. Nikolic, the number 1 seed world champion in Abu Dhabi, took a silver medal along with a silver in Baku. Very consistent athlete.
And the referee in the middle for this one is Khalid Anwar Ali of Egypt. Here's a look at Nikolic, who came in here as the number 1 seed this morning. I remember chatting with her in the warm-up area and saying, you've seen the draw, you know what it is, you know who you're going to be up against. Basically, you've got to take this one today. It's easy for you to say.
Yeah, it's easy to say it, but whether it's to do it. But Stanger was one of my top favourites for a medal, and she's proved me right, and she is here with a guaranteed medal. This young athlete, junior world silver medalist back in 2015, and had a great performance in Agadir where she picked up a bronze medal. Well, the maturity, as we spoke earlier on when we were looking at the possibilities of who would be the stronger of the athletes for that gold medal, the maturity of Nikolic and the experience would most probably be something that would edge that result. But Stanger there, as you can see, battling away in the Niwaza, and we know the Slovenians are very clever and competent in the ground, and Nikolic looking to be a little bit troubled there, but as you can see, the leg's been caught up. And a really bit of a stalemate situation now. But some nice work there from the Slovenian.
Four finals Nikolic appeared in last year. And all 4 times she came out as runner-up. So she won't want that to happen here.
Well, the odds of again for her, but as I speak
Beautiful
so
turn,
soon. But
beautiful
there's Stanger. Osakomi scoring a Wazari, and she's got that Osakomi sewn up there. That is tight. Well, Stango was a top favourite for mine right at the beginning of the day, and proves me right that this young athlete is going places.
That is a painful loss for the #1 seed. It really is.
Stanger wasn't even seeded in this competition. Came from the Pool B, but battled her way, defeating Ulrich of Germany, Melanie of Italy, and Renix of Great Britain. Now finds herself heading on to the podium in the #1 spot.
Yeah, for a first ever Grand Prix gold medal.
Fantastic performance.
Then we were talking about Nikolic maybe making it a second, but it wasn't to be. It's Stanger who ends up with the first ever Grand Prix gold medal. Single slip there.
It was just an error, a very half-hearted attack.
On the right
stabbing
side,
that foot, lost her balance. She lost her own balance. The upper body control was there from Stanger, and all she did was just thank her very much for allowing her to roll her over and hold her down.
Right, coming up next, we've got the first of the bronze medal contest in the under 60 kilo category. Lasha Chaduneli of Georgia faces Oruj Valizada of Azerbaijan. It's Chaduneli in the white judogi, Valizada in blue.
Well, 2 athletes new on the scene there, as you can see, very high, very low down on the world ranking. Well, it'll bring their ranking position up a little bit higher here, whoever takes that medal. And obviously a place in here is a good result. But an evenly matched contest. Both athletes never competed against each other, so it's really down to who can rise to the occasion here in this bronze medal match.
The referee in the middle for this one is Raul Camacho of Spain.
Well, already everybody is eyes in this stadium on the Georgian. Chaduneli. It's been a real favourite here today. Very knowledgeable crowd that supported him all the way here to this bronze medal match. The power of the Azerbaijani, who draws his opponent from the ground. Azerbaijan picking up, coming in with Uchimata. Gets the arms round the waist, looks to really try to use his power to sacrifice his opponent there. Uranagi.
Valizada had a terrific battle in the semi-final with Lukum Chukvimiani of Georgia.
That was a great performance there.
He's got another one on his hands here.
Oh, what a great turn there. Nice attack.
And he just managed to get the attack in the right amount of time. And he wasn't setting up. The hands went over, he attacked. So for me, that was fine.
Well, 2 minutes 43 seconds remaining in this contest. It's still a long way off to deciding this bronze medal. Georgian throwing that left hand high over onto the collar, drawing his opponent's head down, trying to break his balance. Trying to get that reaction that he wants for the Uchimata. As it comes in, he's got the hips through, the legs hovering around in the inside.
He's a dangerous counter throw, isn't he,
yes,
Valizada?
And Valizada is just waiting. He's playing a little bit of a waiting game here. And he's already picked up one Shido. He can't afford to start accumulating them so quickly. Just under the 2.5 minutes remaining. Georgian puts in that sort of side drop. Wasn't as convincing as I'm sure he was expecting it to be, and now it cost him a Shido for that.
It's a little bit harsh. You could see the idea. That technique no longer has the benefit of the hand to help him with the wheel.
Yes.
So he's got to do it all from the shoulder.
From the shoulder and using the head.
But you need to get the shoulder
yes.
and the head underneath, and he didn't.
Well, he got the shoulder, but he just didn't get any more leverage from it. And
he got the Shido as well.
Got the Shido to add salt to the wound, as they would say.
Half the contest gone. Shido apiece. Finely balanced between Valizada and Chadronelli.
Oh, yes! Well, we were saying he was playing a bit of a waiting game. He played a very dangerous game for Azerbaijan. And that face says it all.
So much for the contest being finely balanced.
Well, he's just tipped those scales and taken the bronze medal. Kept it in, Georgia.
Chadronelli decided he'd had enough of it being 50-50. Papinashvili threw like that earlier on, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
You know, there's a feel of Makikomi to it, isn't there?
Well, they come in so tight. They throw the arm over the top. They actually wind their arm around their opponents, and they lock in under the armpit, using the elbow like a vice, and then start the rotation. And that's why it's so effective, unlike some of the other Makikomis that we see, where it's just above the elbow and no more. They actually get it right under the armpit, and they lock in tight. So when they start to move, their partner, their opponents are coming with them. It's very effective and great to watch.
Let's have a look at the highlights and see if we can pick up on just how well executed that technique was.
As you can see there, it locks in this time. On that one occasion, he actually had the belt. So he caught the belt, stepped across, hara into the Makikomi.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And it was... the winning ingredient was that belt. That's what done it for him.
There's a referee. He got it right.
I want to be referee, yes. Well, he got it right, and who would blame him for celebrating that throw?
We've got the second of the bronze medal contests coming up next. Temur Nozadze of Georgia faces Albert Mongush of Russia. It's Nozadze in the white judogi, Mongush in blue. This is a really tricky one because Mongush has got to get past Nozadze. Nozadze is going to be desperate to make sure that all 4 medals go to Georgia.
Yeah, well, yes, it's right. It's the 2 Georgians in the final, so we're guaranteed a gold and the silver. We've already got 1 bronze medal.
And the referee in the middle for this one is Jon Ramekers of the Netherlands. Could be a clean sweep here.
Could be. But the Russian Mongush has been quite impressive throughout the day. I've enjoyed watching him perform here today. He was defeated in the semi-final by Papinashvili, the #1 seed. So be interesting to see how he performs here. But as we know, the Georgians here have got such a support behind them.
He's just shading it for me Mongush as
yes.
the favourite for this. Nozadze, I mean, this crowd will go crazy
gosh,
if
yes,
Nozadze
definitely.
wins. Because it will mean that Georgia will take all 4 medals in the weight category.
Just hope they've got enough flags to put on the trapeze.
If any country is going to win 4 medals and someone's going to have enough flags, it will be here in Georgia.
Yes, and if they haven't,
then nip out to the
they'll
local
quickly
shop.
get them. It'll be thrown into the crowd.
Republic of Korea, Japan, Georgia. I don't think Russia have done an all 4. I think these are the only 3 that have done it. Republic of Korea and Mongolia. And Mongolia have done it as well, yeah. Clean sweep. Well, it's a little bit early for us to be talking about clean sweep because Nozadze hasn't done it yet, but he almost catches the feet of Mongush there, Loretta.
But there's also a chance in the heavyweights, especially, of doing exactly the same. We've got some strong in the plus and the under 100s and the plus 100s. Well, really big battles going on between these 2 athletes. The Russian desperately trying to get the control with that left hand. Finds his head being caught up, but the Georgian making his opponent look quite passive there as he dominates the grips quite nicely in this contest.
Yes, it could be that the plus 100 kilo category on the final day on Sunday will also throw up the Georgians in the latter stages, in the medal stages. Anyway, it's a long way to go before that happens. Nozadze's got the job on his hands at the moment. No score yet, just the single Shido picked up by the Georgian. A little over a minute and a half left to go.
The Georgian looking for that Uchimata, but he's showing it a little bit too long. And the Russian coming in for the Osotogari. Uchimata, Russian comes around the back trying to counter. Both losing their balance.
Yeah, just a sign there that Mongush probably hasn't got the kind of power that he had earlier on. He's slow to his feet as well. He was looking a lot sharper earlier on.
Oh, definitely was.
Against tougher opponents, with the greatest of respect to Nozadze. But it could be that he's just, he's blowing heavily. The referee's gone over to him to ask him to get back to his start point with a little bit more urgency than he'd been showing. Taking every second to gather himself as well.
Mongush came in with the first grip, but as you can see, the Georgian with that right hand on the collar, he's got that Uchimata, he's controlling quite nicely. He's let the hand slip down in front, so he's got to be careful on how he approaches with the Ouchigari if he does attempt it, because the counter would be there from the Russian. Yashiwaza, nice feet, keeping it in control, great balance.
Needed a combination
Osotogari, oh! Just needed a little bit more depth in that. They needed that leg in a bit deeper and his hips forward. He dropped the weight down too quickly as he advanced into the Osota. Well, the Georgian, for me, looking very sharp out there. He's definitely motivated. And there you have the second Shido Bin award, but this time it goes to Mongush of Russia. So it's 1 apiece with just coming up to 15 seconds remaining.
Mongush decided to burn that penalty.
Yeah,
Just didn't like the grip.
Oh, so close. Well, for me, the Georgian is looking very sharp.
And Mongush just wanted to keep him down there.
And the crowd, as you can see, almost on the edge of their seat. I don't think any of them really wants to see this going into golden score, but it is. Now, the problem is the Georgian not to do too much and leave himself vulnerable. We have seen that in the past today, that just too keen to get in there too quickly. leaving themselves wide open for the counter.
Just needs to get his head up here. He does look a little bit as though he's taking a bit of a breather.
Well, he looks to be... The Russian is tempting him with that leg for the Osotogari, as if he's trying to actually set him up. Oh, there was a great reaction there. Right, falling flat on his front. But there, obviously a great attack. Nozadaze, up until now, looking the stronger of the two. As an attempt of a Sutemi Waza. The crowd trying to sway the referee in here by the whistles and the calls of Shido. But he did get the lift. Might not have got the finish, but he did move his opponent. Hojigari there from the Russian. Had control of the head that time. But it slipped down once more. Circling motion, but you can see he was tempted with the Osotogari. He went for it, but quickly came back out and reacted quick enough because the Russian was waiting. He was hovering there for the counter. And that's the yes! Again, two very strong attacks. Usoto attempt from the Russian. He's got his head up, but the Ashiwazas. Oh, goodness. Well, it's 1 for 1 at this moment. It's like a seesaw effect. One's going, the next is the other person. Neither one of them, we don't really know which way this is going to fall. Both. Oh, and there you have it. Did he just land possibly just flat on his bottom? I'm not quite sure. Will they count that?
Yeah, flat on his backside. And the other thing is he didn't put his hands out for
yeah,
the
I wasn't
saving
sure
grace.
whether I'm not sure.
For me, it doesn't look as though he's got his hands down. He just puts him on his backside.
It was the left hand I wasn't so sure about. We couldn't see it from this angle. Did he stop himself with that left hand?
Not for me, I don't think.
Well, well, I hope not. I do hope not, because this is becoming a very interesting and well-fought match.
He's taking his time about it.
Oh,
Nozadze.
Yeah. Well, Mongush looks very confident out there.
Yep.
Well, they've not given it, which is good. If they had given that score, it would have been a very, very soft Wazari.
Biggest round of applause for the referee I've heard all day.
Yes. He's definitely got to be on their Christmas list, that's all I can say. Oh, well, do you know what? Mongush has just woken up, hasn't he? He really has started to come alive. Wow, there's a few boots going on there. You can hear them from here. But the Georgian's starting to look a little bit tired now. He put so much work in, hadn't he, during the first 4 minutes of this contest. He's leaning over a leg.
Good lift from Mongush. Couldn't get the turn.
So close. Just couldn't get that rotation. He got the hips under. Well, the Georgian did well to anticipate that. He reacted so well. Oh! He overspun him! Now, beautiful Osotogari entry. And the crowd do erupt. It'd be interesting to see the actual finishing of that. It's definitely a way you want to see a contest finish and a bronze medal being awarded. And both these athletes so much deserved the bronze medal, but only one can go out.
After a little over 3 minutes of golden score, Temur Nozadze comes up with the big finish and throws Albert Mongosh of Russia for Ippon to take the second of the bronze medals for Georgia. Both bronze medals going to Georgia, and it's an all-Georgian final. It's a clean sweep in the under 60 kilo category. We're going to have a look at the highlights, part of which will show the finish, and Loretta Kusak-Dol can then talk us through the end of that technique.
Well, there was just so many opportunities for both these athletes, but there you could see. No, he did land, but it looked like just at that, it was so fast. That slowed down a bit so we can actually see the landing. And yes, shoulders was there square on the tatami. It was just the after effect. He spun to land on his front. But so deep and so beautifully executed. It was well controlled. Nice. Well, there's no argument with that. And a well-deserved bronze medal. He had to work for that one, there's no doubt about it.
Terrific fight that was. We come now to the final of the under 60 kilo category. It's the repeat of last year's final. Amiran Papinashvili of Georgia faces teammate Luhum Chukvimiani. It's Papinashvili in the white judogi, Chukvimiani in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Ramzidin Saidov of Uzbekistan. Loretta.
Well, both these athletes have battled away for so many years against each other, but they've had two head-to-heads in a major competition, and Chukvimiani is in the driving seat when it comes to the wins. 2 wins out of 2. So was the gold medalist here last year. Can he repeat? Can he defend and take a doubler today? Well, Papinashvili for me was the #1 seed, and his performance here today has been a solid performance, defeating quite some strong candidates along the way. And an athlete that really does look to be firing on all cylinders and on form.
Well, Chukvimiani appears to have Papinashvili's number at the moment.
It definitely does, but another year, time to reflect, time to sort of think, well, it's my turn now. Came in to this competition as the #1 seed, so had the slight advantage and that confidence boost of knowing where he stands in this level of tournament. As you can see, Papinashvili with very strong lapel grip, but will pick up.
Just for breaking off the grip there.
Just for breaking off.
But
yes.
the crowd are laughing because the penalty was given with such gentleness that it looked as though you touched him. So I'm going to penalise you.
Well, don't do that again.
The crowd gave a little bit of a giggle, and even some of his colleagues, his refereeing colleagues there, are asking for a slightly more rigorous exhibition of what that, or demonstration of what that penalty was.
It says like, if you're going to do it and you're going to get penalised, make it worth it. So the Patakate sort of system doesn't really brush off on this referee. And
it was slapping off the grip that he was trying to indicate, but he did it so gently.
Yeah.
For a big man as well. I mean, brought a few laughs from the crowd. Single Shido then. That was all.
Papinashvili, as you can see, with the high collar grip. His opponent with the grip in the inside. teammate that's picked up the first.
They were both passive, weren't they? Not really getting on with it. They'll have to now.
Oh, well, there was a lovely drop, Sianagi, but that came from trying to push his opponent off at the edge of the mat, and it nearly backfired on him, that one. Walked straight onto the drop. And Papinashvili will pick up a second Shido, I think.
Okay, well, he gives a second penalty, and that was, the signal was for avoiding to take a grip. I think possibly, but that what they were looking to tell him was for pushing
out at the edge, because that was a deliberate push there. You could see that happening.
However, the result is the same. Loretta.
Yes, you're right. It was the same. It's a penalty. It's a Shido, and that gives it 2 apiece. So the next one would cost the match for either one of the athletes, or if they both got them, it'd be Hanso Kanaki for both, and only a silver medal being awarded.
That is a possibility. Loretta and I have lived through that.
Yes, we have experienced once, I'm glad to say,
enough.
only once, but it's not something I would like to see again. But these athletes have got to really start. Someone's got to be gutsy enough here to then just take the next leap forward in fate.
Although I have to say that this contest has a completely different feel to the one where they both ended up.
Definitely. This is a little bit of a real battle. You just know that physically these athletes are giving it their all, and they are challenging each other quite considerably. And Shikvimiani there with the high collar grip, drawing his opponent's head down. Drops to his knee there, losing a bit of balance, but trying to look busy without actually even physically
without
turning.
doing anything.
All he's got is the upper body control. He's got strong grips. He drops in. He was just waiting for a reaction from Papinashvili. He wasn't really getting much feedback from that very strong, controlling grip.
Yeah, take the strong grip and then do something with it.
Yeah.
20-odd seconds left to go.
A lot of the time when you get the high collar grip and you draw your opponent's head down, what you're really looking for is the reaction of your opponent to try and pull the head back up, which means the balance goes onto the heels, and it creates a gap, an opening for either the Sianagi or the Osoto Ouchigari combination of techniques. But he really wasn't getting that reaction from Papinashvili. Obviously, he knows him so well that he knew exactly what he was trying to do, and he wasn't going to fall into that trap.
Papinashvili threw really nicely earlier on with the Makikomi, his own version of it. We haven't seen him get into a position where he can try that yet. No doubt Shukvimiani is well aware of it. He's ready to get underway. Papinashvili needs a second to tidy up his gi. Golden score then. Symmetry in the board, all zeros, and the Shidos full up, all Georgia. And
well, it's...
She can't.
Oh, gosh. She's blessing herself and she's praying there. I wonder whose side she's on. It'd be interesting to know and go back to that lady, seeing whether she cries or whether she's up clapping at the end of this. Well, yes, the pressure is, and the atmosphere. You could cut it with a knife here. There's half of this stadium wanting white. There's half that wants blue. The one thing that's in good thing is it's both going to Georgia, so at least they can say they've got the gold and silver.
And the 2 bronze.
And the 2 bronze.
Full house.
Full house.
It's too late to claim the turnover there.
Well, half a minute, just over half a minute in this contest. 2 Shidos apiece, no score as yet.
It's not a classic, but it's engrossing. You know, we haven't taken our eyes off this.
Well, I think it's one of these, if you do blink, you could miss something very important.
neither of them giving an inch.
Well, it's just a bit of a show of the hips, but there's a sacrifice there from Papanashvili, who really does make that little bit of an effort.
He almost got turned by Chukvimiani at the end.
Oh.
I thought she was rocking with nervousness, but I think
no,
she's
but
got
a baby
there. Okay,
yeah.
I'll take it back. He's got his head down now.
Oh,
countered! Yes! Chukvimiani catches him. Papanashvili goes for the big one.
Well, someone had to be gutsy, and fair dues to Papanashvili. He was the one that was gutsy enough to just go for it. He wasn't willing to just sit back and maybe either pick up another Shido. He was willing to just try and go for it, and full credit to that man. He made that effort. A gutsy performance from Papanashvili, but sadly it is again now 3-0 as far as wins, and Chukvimiani takes the gold for the second time.
Same result as last year. Loretta was talking about Chukvimiani retaining his title. He's been able to do that.
Well, he really had to work for it this time.
Well, they really cleaned up here, the Georgians.
Well, look at that smile. It's just before they started. They could actually break a smile there. Well, Papanashvili, well, full credit to this man. He went for it. It didn't pay off for him, but full credit for being gutsy enough to just go for it.
Just sidesteps it, and it's just the hands that bring him down.
It was that circling motion. He came round and he left all his weight on the supporting leg, and on that left hand the weight was pulled down. He just really needed to drive towards the opposite side. He just left all his weight on his supporting leg, which made him very vulnerable there for the counter.
We've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 48 kilo category coming up next. The bronze medals go first of all to Melanie Clément of France. And there's a bronze medal too for Sarah Menezes of Brazil. Silver medal goes to Milica Nikolic of Serbia. And the gold medal goes to Marusa Stanger of Slovenia. Two good weight categories so
They've been
far,
very interesting.
Loretta.
So, yeah, today's performances throughout the day, we tend to find that a few of these competitions that we've been in, the first day starts off very slow. The middle day is always a very strong competitive weight categories, and the last day tends to be a bit of a mixed bag. But for this tournament, it's been very, very strong to start. It started off very exciting right at the beginning of the day and has ended. We've still got some very good matches to come.
And now the national anthem of Slovenia. Right, the format is that we will have an awarding ceremony after each of the finals, and we'll eventually catch up with the 5 weight categories and do 2 in a row. Clement and Menezes were the bronze medalists. Nikolic took the silver, but it was Stanger who won her first ever IJF Judo World Tour event. We've got the first of the bronze medals in the under 52 kilo category coming up now. Gulbadam Babumaratova of Turkmenistan faces Angelica Delgado of the United States of America. It's Babumaratova in the white judogi, Delgado in blue.
As you can see, no head-to-head. Well, ranking 52 for the Turkmenistan to 13, a little bit further up the world ranking list. But both these athletes have battled away here for this bronze medal.
The referee in the middle for this one is Veli-Matti Karinkanta of Finland.
Babumaratova, for me, had a great performance in Agadir, where she picked up a bronze medal. For me, she was strong-looking. And there you can see her entering on our screen now, looking very determined indeed. Delgado, strong performances as she started the day. Lost out in the semi-final against Schopp from Switzerland.
Schopp picked up a head injury in the execution of that waza, didn't she? And
yes.
Cut. There was a cut above
cut
her right eyebrow,
yes.
yeah. Just on the edge there. And they managed to tidy it up very, very quickly, but she'll have had an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to... What can you do? You get a cut, it's going to take a few days.
Yes, yeah. And the problem is the more you knock it, the worse it can get.
Only needs another bump there. The key is to find a way of just sealing it so that you don't have this huge bandage on your head, especially anything over your ears.
Yes, because it's
covering your ears.
Quite distorting, isn't it? And
first minute gone, no score as yet.
Well, Turkman coming in there with a Sodi leg through deep enough. Just collapsed too quickly as she entered through in the attack. Delgado first on the grip, using it as she was, and knocks her opponent down into the ground, keeps driving forward. Left herself a bit off balance there in the Niwaza. Needed to pull back as she was driving through to just catch her on her back. Just slightly over-rotated in the ground. Delgado once more takes the lapel, but Babumaratova looking quite strong, but she's got that arm there.
Did she have to tap out or not?
Yes, she got the submission there. I wasn't sure whether she was able to get that or not. The angle that she was in was very unorthodox for that execution of that arm lock, but very effective anyway, and scores the ippon, and the bronze medal goes to Turkmenistan.
Delgado was angry with herself for getting caught there. And they just want to have a look at this to make sure that everything.
Well, it was just a very weird angle, and I'm just wondering, are they looking to see, was it on the elbow or was it on the shoulder, the submission? But it looked like it was on the elbow there.
Yeah, and there's no complaint from.
I wouldn't have thought there was.
Is that what I can see?
Trying to see what they were. Oh, yeah, you see the rotation there.
Yeah,
it's the figure of four, but the reverse.
Yeah.
Now, that rotated the shoulder blade, which is a legal move. Now, that's the bit that I'm sure they were looking at.
Yeah.
Well, they thought it was okay.
I think that Loretta's first statement there, the figure 4, is correct. Because when that figure 4 goes on, it can feel as though your shoulder, but the initial pain...
When the figure 4 goes on, it goes onto the elbow, but when it's actually then pulled up high towards the shoulder, it's then no longer on the elbow, it's on the actual shoulder itself. It rotates the shoulder cuff.
We could always ask Angelica Delgado herself,
yeah,
the American athlete, and ask her where it is. This is the best look.
This is, Now, as you can see, the leverage was on the shoulder there, but then the left hand is levering on the wrist, and then she pulls it out,
down,
and that's when she gets the submission. So it was only then when she actually got the arm out did the submission go on, and not any time that her opponent started grimacing or looking to be in trouble at that stage. It was just when the arm came out, that's when it was all happening.
The pressure on the shoulder puts Delgado into the position where Babu Muratova can execute the arm lock on the elbow. That's the way that one went. I had my suspicions at first that she was applying pressure to the shoulder until you see it go further down, and when the execution comes up, it's all on the elbow there.
That's where, because, and all I think they were actually looking for is looking at the expressions, as you can see here, the expression of the American athlete, and there where the submission was given, that's when she looks and she's tapped. She's in trouble there. But great win for Turkmenistan. Right,
we've got a second bronze medal, and there's another Stanger taking to the mat. This time it's Anya Stanger in the under 52 kilo category. She faces Zadira Amirtayeva of Kazakhstan, I beg your pardon. Stanger in the white judogi, Amirtayeva in blue. Referee in the middle for this one is Oliver de Roses of France. Yeah, Stanger and Amirtayeva. These two won't have had a head-to-head yet. Marusa we saw in the 48 kilo category. Anya we're seeing in the 52. So, and we were talking about sisters and brothers, siblings, and mum and dad who did judo.
There's actually quite a few now that seems to be appearing, isn't there? At Stoll
today even.
Both battled away against each other to get in the place of the quarterfinal, semi-finals.
Right, we're underway. Stanger in the white judogi, Amirtayeva in blue.
Well, lovely start for Stanger. Straight away with a Wazari within the opening 10 seconds of this contest. Using that shoulder in there with the Koichi down to the gak.
I wonder where she learnt that.
Oh, yes, I wonder.
Terstiniak was written all over that, wasn't she?
Well, they've got some strong athletes, the Slovenian team now. Some young ones coming through. And speaking to one of the Slovenian coaches, the question I asked was why do they expose their very young cadet, even athletes, to this level of tournament? Is there not a sort of an element of risk for a young athlete to be exposed so early? And one of the main reasons is because their funding aspect. If they place in the top 7, then they get supported. But there's the Osakomi, and that is her with a medal and that funding. What a lovely turnover. The Slovenians are very clever in the ground. So there you have it, Ippon from Stanger. So easily done. She came out straight away, scored, and looks quite happy. But there was tears earlier on when she lost in the earlier rounds, and she was heartbroken. It meant that much to her. So obviously to take home a medal here today will make a bit of a difference.
Well, there's that old saying, isn't there? Anything you can do, I can do. But in this case, it's anything you can do, I can do almost as well.
Almost as well, yeah.
Not anything you can do, I can do better.
If you can see, when you think about...
With the sister, I mean.
If you think of the weight the athletes that Slovenia have, my goodness, it's like success is breeding success, isn't it? They're going from strength. They're real contenders, this team. She comes straight in, Lovely little move there, flips her over onto her back to the blind side, comes round, drops her hips to the ground.
Unusually executed Osai Waza, but beautifully done and nicely controlled.
Lovely, well controlled.
We're already up to the final of the under 52 kilo category. It just leaves us 4 contests after this. No, sorry.
6.
Yeah, because we've got 2 missing. Yeah, six more after this. There's a nice turn.
Well, there's been some really nice judo, hasn't there, today? What a great start for this tournament.
And coming up next will be the final of the under 52 kilo category. Amandine Bouchard of France faces Evelyn Schopp of Switzerland. It's Bouchard in the white judogi, Schopp in blue.
Well, Bouchard, 22 years of age, 4 years junior to her opponent, but ranked world number 3. 3 head-to-heads, and Bouchard in the driving seat with that. 3 wins under her belt against this opponent. It's got to give her confidence here as she goes into this final. The number 1 seed in the Masters last year took a bronze medal, along with Paris a silver, and Tbilisi last year was gold medalist. So she'll be wanting just to repeat that performance and make it a double act.
The referee in the middle for this one is Amano Akiko of Japan.
Schopp was one of the favourites for me to get onto the podium at the beginning of the day, and has not let us down in that prediction, and has guaranteed a medal. But it's up to her which colour it's going to be that she takes home to Switzerland. This young lady, junior European bronze medalist in Agadir, took the gold medal a few weeks ago with a wonderful performance. Bouchard starting off as we would expect. Really persevered there, didn't panic at all. Scoring a Wazari. Bouchard working quite nicely, comes under again once more with that drop. Wasn't as effective as this time, but...
she thought if it worked once, I'll have another dig.
Yes, but Schopp was waiting for her on that one and anticipated it very well.
Alexei Budalin, the coach, has made a jump from Estonia to Switzerland. He's in the coach's chair for Evelyn Schopp, and I think in the coach's chair for France's. No, it isn't. I was looking up to see where Lucy de Cos was, but it's Severin van der Hende coaching for Amandine Bouchard, who leads by Wazari with, well, a little over 2.5 minutes left to go.
Well, one thing with Bouchard, she is a real battler. Great condition. Not one of the most stylish athletes here, but a lovely drop. Didn't get the drop Sianagi, but there was the Wazari Aseti upon. Came in for the drop. Her opponent tried to step around from it and carried on driving her opponent in the same direction. Just pure upper body control and determination that takes her on the podium in the number 1 position. So Bouchard, gold medalist for France in the under 52 kilos. But a great performance for a Schopp for Switzerland, taking a well-deserved silver medal.
Well, Bouchard has found her spot, the under 52 kilo category.
She's starting to be a real contender there, and up with the medals. A consistent athlete, isn't she? one that you can really sort of, if you're a gambler, you would put your money on her, wouldn't you? To know that she was going to perform and be within the placings.
We've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 60 kilo category about to take place. And if you have problems with the pronunciation of Georgian names, then your nightmare is about to begin, because all 4 of them on the podium are Georgian. So here we go. And it's the Minister of Culture and Sport for Georgia who's going to be presenting the medals. Alongside him is the president of the Georgian Judo Federation, David Kevkishvili. And the medals go, first of all, to Lasha Chaduneli. Terrific effort from him, and also from Timur Nozadze. Silver medal goes to Amiran Papinashvili, with a gold medal for the second time running. It's Lukum Chukvimiani of Georgia who stands on the #1 spot. All 4 medals going to Georgia.
A little bit of a deja vu, isn't it, really? It's all come back to haunt them once more.
I think they won all 4 medals once here in the under 81 kilo category some years ago. It was in a different sport hall. It was the old domed
Yes, I remember
one,
it, yeah.
that circular one. They took all 4 medals in the under 81 kilo category. And now the national anthem of Georgia. Yeah, it was back in 2010 when the Georgians took all 4 gold medals in the under 81 kilo category. Here it's Nozadze, Chaduneli, Papinashvili and Chukvimiani who take the medals in the under 60 kilo category. Back in 2010, it was Levon Siklaury, Akika Kutishvili, David Karbelashvili and Losob Selauri. Those were the 4 medal winners back in 2010. Back to today, we've got the first of the bronze medal contests in the under 66 kilo category. Daniel Jean of France faces Ali Reza Kojaste of Iran. Jean in the white judogi, Kojaste in blue. The referee in the middle for this one is Roberta Curlia of Italy. the father's here as one of the refereeing commissioners. Talking about family connections.
Yes. I've just realised that. I've just looked at it. Oh, brilliant. Keeping it all in the family. He must be very, very proud.
Medal match in the final block for this referee. Maybe third or fourth time in a IJF Judo World Tour event. Doing really well.
Yeah.
Right. Jean in the white judo gi, Kojaste in blue. Here's Loretta.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. And Jean was one of the favourites for a medal for me here in the under-66. And can he seal it with this bronze medal here? And Agadir just recently picked up a bronze medal. The Cadet European Championships back in 2014 was the European medalist. And there you have it. This young man just seems to be growing in confidence.
Nightmare for Kojaste.
Kojaste really just didn't see that one coming. And one of the biggest upsets of the tournament here, as you can see. But there wasn't much between them in the statistics. They're both young athletes with great future in front of them.
If you're going to launch...
You're going to do it like that, aren't you?
Launch fully, yeah.
Goodness, there's no argument with that one at all.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can get highlights of that. He stepped in again with that Oso Tagari. He's so brilliant at that. We've seen it 3 times today. Twice he's actually thrown for Ippon. So definitely great performer, big thrower.
I don't think he waits to hear about Ippon or anything. He's already up. Look, he's up and off.
He knows. He knows. But every time he's done that today, he's known straight away.
That's one of the best Oso Tagaris I've seen at that weight. Because it's normally a slightly bigger man's throw.
Well, you find it,
know?
yes, a big man's throw, but he's so sharp and he's got those long limbs. He digs in deep, and look at the upper body power. He just hits it right. He's either got the high collar or he's got a high lapel grip. He's got control on that sleeve. The elbow tucks in into the chest, going towards under the armpit, and he drives through. He actually looks to where he's going to bury him. Brilliant.
Coming up next, the second of the bronze medal contests in the under 66 kilo category. Shakram Akhadov of Uzbekistan faces Lasha Guinashvili of Georgia. It's Akhadov in the white judogi, Guinashvili in blue. And the referee in the middle for this one is Frank Wolf of Germany.
Well, again, when we look at the rundown of the statistics, not much really to divide these athletes. Both have had good, solid performances here in this tournament today. And it's about really who can actually get them into the mindset of this contest, who can rise to the occasion and channel all those emotions into a performance. Guinashvili at the Cadet World Championships back in 2015 was a silver medalist. Definitely great potential for the Georgian team. We've seen some wonderful performances overall from the Georgians, to the delight of this crowd. And you can see the Uzbek Akhadov there, quite considerably taller than his opponent. Doesn't seem to take full advantage of that height, though. Both picking up a Shido apiece now in the first minutes of the contest.
I can't see anyone topping the Georgians in the medal table today.
Oh, definitely not. Well, Akhadov there really needs to settle into this contest. For someone who's got the advantage here of being so much taller than his opponent, those long limbs. Comes in for a drop Seoinage, not one of the techniques I would have actually thought that he would go for, considering his height. You would feel that maybe using the Osodogares, the big Uchimatas, Ashiwazas, would be those leggy techniques that would be to his advantage. At the moment, he really does look in a bit of trouble there. He's got that drop Seoinage, but for someone so tall to try and get under someone a lot smaller than himself is a real tall order. But the Georgian picks up his second Shido. Playing too long of a waiting game here and allowing Uzbek to really dominate the amount of attacks that's being put in this contest. And there you've got it again, once more, the drop Seoinage. The drop Seoinage once more. He tried to get it as a combination with the Koji, just to get that step back. Again, once more, a nice attack. Well, Guninashvili really in a lot of trouble now. If he doesn't start putting one or two attacks in, he'll find that he'll be receiving his third and final Shido.
Well, the only reason that he didn't get the third and final Shido in that last sequence was because Akadov threw him. I think he could be on his way out here.
Yeah. Well, that looked like a throw from here, but
no, that was the replay,
that, yes.
and that's the second one now.
All right.
I've done that before.
I thought he'd done it again.
He's done it again.
It was the replay.
But that last one wasn't. That was the real thing.
There was Arya Setiapon, and Akadov takes the bronze medal back to Uzbekistan.
So the Georgians missing out on that medal opportunity there. Guninashvili outclassed in that medal match, to be honest. Really wasn't in it.
It was very surprising, the technique, which was obviously very effective, that drop Seoinage, but wouldn't be one that if you were to ask anybody what type of techniques would you expect the Uzbek to produce, you would say most probably the Osodogares, the Uchimatas, the big Harai Goshes, the Ashigarumas. Techniques like this, but a drop Seoinage for someone who's so tall in his weight category? Surprising choice of technique.
Stay with us. We'll be back with the next contest, which is the final of the under 66 kilo category.
You see the drop Seoinage is there, and they work very, very well, very sharp. You can't fault them.
We come now to the final of the under 66 kilo category for men. Vaza Margvelashvili of Georgia faces Daniel Kagnin of Brazil. It'll be Margvelashvili in the white judogi, Kagnin in blue.
Well, Margvelashvili there head-to-head in the driving seat for that win. The #1 seed coming into this competition. World bronze medalist and Masters bronze medalist under his belt as far as results are concerned. A very impressive track record this young man from Georgia has, and obviously the home favourite. But I've gone for the underdog here, pardon the expression, as this young up-and-coming Brazilian junior world champion and Pan American champion A lot of potential, this young man from Brazil.
Sorry, the referee in the middle for this one is Siniša Skrbić of Serbia. Here's Loretta again.
So here you have Karganin on paper, most probably the least favourite of winning the gold medal, especially on home soil to the Georgians. But he's been a very impressive athlete today and has shown so much maturity in his judo that technically he's got the upper hand here, I think, judo-wise. But does he have the maturity and the physical presence against a very strong and aggressive approach to this Georgian?
Well, maybe it's not the best plan for Karganin to try and rough it up with Margvelashvili, at least in the gripping. Yes, he missed and he caught Margvelashvili on the chin, and then Margvelashvili came back and caught him on the chin. I'm not sure how much of a miss that was. You know?
Yeah, you don't battle away like that. He's really... The strengths of Karganin is that he's technically very sound, and he should use that strength to try and win this match. Use his judo.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get involved with a brawl in Tbilisi.
No.
With a Georgian.
Exactly. You can't afford to get into a bit of a battle as such, an aggressive approach to this contest. He has to be clever. He's got great ashiwazas. He's got some very good skills. He's capable of throwing and throwing well, but he needs to then think he has to be very clever here on how he approaches this contest against the Georgian. As you can see, the Georgian coming across. He was stabbed there with an attempt of a Sutemi Waza from Karganin. Just lost his control of the foot. Quick to react when he went down in the ground, because that could have been a serious mistake there for him.
Maybe this is what he needs, just to take a break for a second.
Compose himself.
Yeah, compose himself. He's going to just have some tape fixed on the fingers, and maybe it's just a little bit of time, you know, think about it.
Well, I think when he got into that exchange of grips at the beginning, he actually came off on the receiving end of hurting his hand. So that plagued him right at the beginning. When he dropped to the ground, he was in a little bit of trouble because of injury. So he's now got that opportunity to tape up and calm down. At the beginning, they both came out, and it was a whirlwind of attacks and a real battle between them. If it's going to continue a battle, there's only one person that's going to come out winning, and that's the Georgian.
Now, I don't know how other people weigh things up, but I look at a man like Vaza Margvelashvili. There is a face and his left ear that suggests that he's been in a few punch-ups before.
Yeah.
He's still here. That means that he's hard, right? So when I look at a guy like that, I think, he's hard, I don't need to go hard. We've sorted that one out already. We know he's hard. So let's find another route.
Yeah. let's play clever here. Yeah. It's definitely playing a clever game and working to your strengths. Yeah.
Right, so...
It's like going into a boxing ring without your boxing gloves in and just having a handbag. It's just not going to work, is it?
Well, Karganin's had time to think about it. He's picked up a single Shido, and Margvelashvili gets to work immediately with a big arm over the back.
Yeah, well, you can see the power of the Georgian as he came in there. He just pole-drived him into the ground. Well, the Brazilian has calmed down. He's trying to create a space between him and his opponent, just to give him some options here and use other skills that he has, and that's fast feet. Does he want to get up close and personal? Well, it's going to be difficult when you start entering with someone that can actually do the big uranagis. Well, you do have a sense that you've seen a bit of a change now in the dynamics of this match. It has slowed down considerably, especially for the Brazilian. He needs to just now be confident enough in his grips and his ability. Well, the Georgians physical maturity in this contest is starting to shine out a lot more in this match. And another penalty will go to the Brazilian, I think. But one there for Margavelashvili there, picking up one as well. It was an opportunity. The Brazilian tried to counter. He just didn't have that power and definitely didn't have the control to be able to make that move. But he has to be gutsy. He's got nothing to lose here. He's already guaranteed a medal, this young athlete. He's already gave a good account of himself throughout the day. And really, the icing on the cake would be to try and go out there and do something like that. This is what you want to see. He's got the arm, but has he been able to execute the arm lock? Nope. Well, this is all you really want, is Karginen to just go out there and be gutsy enough to just give a real deep, hard performance here. He's got to really be brave. He's capable of throwing big. He's got to go for it. Tominagi attempt. Well, again, he's had two very strong attacks, which is nice to see because he's now starting to gain a little bit more momentum and confidence in this gold medal contest. Well, you don't really want to see this going out on a hand sokimaki. You'd rather see it with a big throw. Kosota, and there you have it. There's the big throw. Well, it's big enough, it's Owazari, and the timing is perfect. Margavelashvili will take the gold again for Georgia, securing a top place in the medal table. And this crowd are up on their feet, applauding this performance. A great performance for Karginen.
He made one single mistake in that, Karginen, and got caught within the last 15, 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Up until that point, he was shading it, to be honest.
He put a few good attacks in there, and he started to ooze a little bit more confidence there, didn't he? At the beginning, he was looking a little bit apprehensive, but he came in for that Osotogari, and that was it. It was finished. He stepped into the trap, and it cost him. Came in for that Ouchigari. You could see it. The leg was forward. It looked as if he was luring him into the trap. He was showing him the Ouchi there, as you can see, but he was waiting for him to attack it, and then he was looking for the Kosota.
Now what they are looking at is where the hands were when he executed that technique.
Was it the bear hug? Yeah,
well,
so
there were two things that you might want to look at. Loretta's just talking about the bear hug, right? So, and it's
it is.
So it's a direct bear hug.
Yeah.
So they've waved away the score, and now it's a golden score. Yeah. But there was also a second thing. Yeah.
Well.
But the right hand was under the waist.
And for it, he gets a Shido, so it's two Shidos apiece now.
Yeah.
This opens it all up now.
He's going to have to tidy up.
Oh, there's a cut to the eye. Well, this has turned out to be a very interesting match indeed. It's not all over and done with for the Brazilian.
Well,
he's got a chance.
They might want to show the replay of that.
Yes, it would be interesting to see that.
I think they wouldn't, if it was 50-50, they wouldn't have given the Shido. They would have left it. It had to be something that would overturn the decision. So because they gave the signal for the bear hug, it must be that he went straight for the bear hug. But the other thing was the placement of the hand. I believe that the placement of the hand was also below the waist, below the belt.
Oh, right.
One hand was below the belt. So that is a Shido offence as well. So whichever way you look at it, he was picking up a Shido. Either for a grip below the belt, Shido, or for the direct, you know, both hands going at the same time without, well, you have to take a grip first and then you can go for the bear hug. That didn't happen, so picked up a penalty. It's your turn tomorrow.
Yes,
don't rush things. Yeah, Melanie Clement on the right-hand side has already been on. So... Right, here comes Margvelashvili again.
Well, this crowd, you can hardly hear yourself think.
Nice that they gave the hand slap just to say, OK, accident, let's get on with it.
Karginen, can he hold his own here? An aggressive approach here for the Georgian. Steps across and stab at the Tayatoshi. Karginen looking for the rotation there.
Too strong on the ground, Margvelashvili, to get caught.
Far too powerful there.
Oh, now, come on.
Well, there's a pure accident there. And it's nice to see that sportsmanship there. And things like this, with the gripping so fierce as it is, these sort of things are going to happen. Well, a lot of the time they say if you lead with your head, just expect the worst. The Tayatoshi fell to his face. Well, it was a very poor attempt there, a bit flat. Again, you really don't want to see it going with a penalty. You'd rather, these guys are capable of throwing, and this match is wide open now. The Sutemi Waza attempt there for Karginen. Another good strong attack. Margvelashvili there, the Sutemi Waza attempt, follows it through into the Niwaza. It was a little bit too far away from that Tomonagi.
Just enough to have him blocking, but the distance was too great, really, to catch Karginen. It made it easy
to read his approach on the attack. Came over the belt, and that's the danger! Oh, which way? Oh! Hey! In fact, the Georgian fell first.
Yes.
That was the case. But which way? I think it's a 50-50 and just get on with it. Me too. Definitely think, just get on with it.
Definitely the Georgian coming down first.
Yes.
However, there must be some degree of control.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it was just more of a reaction rather than an action attack. Sutemi was her attempt, but the Georgians are now starting to jump on the bandwagon to try and sway. Oh, well. Yeah,
Karginen doesn't bat an eyelid at that.
No.
You know, he knows that he's missed out there.
It was a great match, and you know, part of me, yes, he made that false attack. It wasn't the best. They're both very tired. You would expect things like that to happen. Were they capable of throwing? Yes, they were. Would you have liked to seen that win on a score? Yes, I would have.
I think that he got that false attack on the back of the two other little ones that weren't.
Yes.
You just wanted to keep busy, and then he threw that one in the, you know, just that little bit.
Yeah, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
You're pushing it too much.
Good battle.
It was a great battle.
Oh, there it was. You see the hand below, not the right hand, the left hand.
Yes, it
was below.
Hands.
Yeah. See, he's falling off that at the end. You must have some degree of control. If this is not the one. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We're so far away.
He falls and he's between his legs. Yes. Now, if there was some Yoko Tomoenagi or Sumigaishi, you could say, but he just fell between his legs there.
There was no movement there at all.
Right, what have we got coming up? It's the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 52 kilo category. Stay with us. We've got more action from the under 57 kilo category next. The medals are presented by the International Judo Federation head refereeing director, Mr. Jan Schneiders. First of the bronze medals goes to Anja Stanger of Slovenia and to Gulbadam Babamuratova of Turkmenistan. The silver medal goes to Evelyn Schopp of Switzerland, but the gold medal goes to Amandine Bouchard of France. Now the national anthem of France.
I'd like to know what makes her look so young. She still looks like a cadet.
Yeah, lucky.
Great pictures there.
Right, after the athletes' picture, we'll be back with the first of the bronze medal contest in the under 57 kilo category. And the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 57 kilo category features Martina Logudice of Italy. She's up against Timna Nelson-Levy of Israel. It's Logudice in the white judogi, Nelson-Levy in blue. And with commentary on this, here's Loretta Cusack-Doyle.
As you can see in all the statistics here is Nelson that looks the stronger of the athletes, has the advantage of knowing that she's defeated her opponent in a previous event. That will be enough to take the gold medal. Well, as we know, the Italians are quite feisty little fighters and will give 110% out there, as they always do.
The referee in the middle for this one is Friedrich Anna-Maria of Hungary.
Both athletes trying to battle through the defences of each other. Israeli, as you can see, throwing the right hand round the back, very close to the belt, cross grips, drawing her opponent into her. Walks on to the drop Sianagi from the Italian. She defends down in Niwaza. The Israeli turns her over. And she battles away down in the ground to secure something positive down there. You can see the legs, a nice bit of Niwaza there, and the referee working with that, can see the potential and the opportunities available, allowing that to go that little bit extra time down there. Good bit of refereeing. And the Israeli coming round the back, that right hand, she uses it on the cross grip. Throws the arm higher over the top. Deep once more on the belt, comes across with the hips. Two very strong attacks from the Israeli. Now, the Italian has to now start putting one or two attacks in herself if she wants to stay in control or have any opportunity of taking this bronze medal. She's picked up the first Shido, and we're coming to the halfway mark. Nielsen looking very strong down there again once more, wraps those legs in the Sangaku turn, rotates, coming over the opposite side. Doesn't seem to have much of the leverage, but needs to take that elbow as well. If she takes, there he has it, the elbow comes with her, which draws the shoulder towards the mat. That's a much better movement. There you have the Osakomi. Needs to really still keep those hips close to the ground, twisting on top to secure the Osakomi. Well, there you have it, the Wazari Aseti upon.
It's a little bit of a save for Israel when you think about it. It's a single medal that they're going to take from a really strong team that they brought here today. So it's just as well that Timna Nelson-Levy has been able to bring home that particular medal, because up until that point, all that they had was a 5th place to show for Noah Minska. So it's just as well that she was able to take that one into the waiting arms of Yvonne Burnish, the Olympic champion at under 57 kilos from Athens way back. So a bronze medal for Timna Nelson-Levy. Right, stay with us. We'll be back with the second of the bronze medal contests. And that second bronze medal contest features Amelie Stoll of Germany. She's up against Anna Borowska of Poland. It'll be Stoll in the white judogi, Borowska in blue.
Well, Borowska there, as you can see, world ranked number 16 to her opponent, 28. No head-to-head, 22 to 23, very, very close in age. And surprising that these two haven't come across each other's paths in the past. But this will be a battle, the first time they have met each other in this world circuit.
And the referee in the middle for this one is Amiran Toitakashvili of Georgia.
There you have Stoll. Sister is in the final. And this will be nice to have the bronze, possibly even a gold medal going home in one family. Well, we've just got to wait and see now. But Stoll there in the white representing Germany, Borowska representing Poland in the blue. Stoll took a bronze medal in The Hague last year. That was a great result, top in the end of the year for her. Borowska, Junior European Championships, gold medalist, along with a gold medal in the Grand Prix in Tashkent. Both opting there, as you can see, for a lapel grip. Left to right. Still throwing that right hand, trapping her opponent's left side. Both battling away to get through the defences of each other's grips. Both picking up a Shido. Both trying to settle into this contest and take control. Flurry of Ashiwazas there from Dubrovska. Well, Stoll was thinking about it, looking for the Sangaku turnover, opted not to proceed into the ground. Borowska, as you can see, with that left on the lapel, throws that left arm over the top, deep, still has that Kouchigari. Nice attack. Oh, we're coming to the halfway mark now. Borowska with the left hand high on the collar. Comes again through with the hips, catching the head for the Koshiguruma. Drops the Yanagi. Didn't get the turn that she wanted. Positioned the hips in the wrong place as she dropped. And picked up a Shido for that drop. So that's the second one now for Borowska. Stoll controlling quite nicely, as you can see, with the left hand on the lapel. Taking a little bit more time. And figuring out her next move. Borowska with 2 Shidos on the board. One more would result in the hand sokomaki. So still really needs to stay engaged, cannot afford to make any mistakes. Stoll, nice strong right hand on the lapel, controlling her opponent's left sleeve. As we know, when she throws that arm over the top, that can be the biggest threat for the German. Once more taking that lapel. Borowska trying to throw that left hand over the top. As you can see, it's the block. Nice change of direction there. Showed for the Ippon Seoinage, switched it to the Kouchigari, stumbling Stoll down to the ground. And there we have it evened up. Stoll taking the second Shido now. Kouchigari having her opponent stumble back. Borowska, as you can see, trying to get past the defence. Throws that arm over the top once more. Attempts of a Koshiguruma. Too quick to drop to the ground, though. Really needs to be confident enough as she approaches with that Koshiguruma to stay upright a little bit more and get the hips in deeper. Well, we're now into the golden score. 2 shidos apiece. No one managing to score as yet. Well, there you have it. The third and final shido goes to Borowska, who was actually protecting her own lapel, which was a negative approach to stop her opponent taking a grip. Well, Stoll will be delighted with that.
And a real disappointment for Borowska, having fought throughout the day to get this far, yes, and to end up giving it away on the back of a rather simple penalty.
Yeah, well, you find some of the time that these athletes get into a bit of a habit. It's not that they are deliberately trying to stop, but they have this habit of touching their own lapel. And it's based from a lot of the time where they're actually their randori. There you have the GB team there. Yeah. All smiles round.
Toprak and Jamie Johnson, Dennis Stewart.
Olympic bronze medalist.
They're all in there.
So having a bit of a picnic out there.
We come now to the final of the under 57 kilo category. Helene Rossovot of France faces Theresa Stoll of Germany. It's Rossovot in the white judogi, Stoll in blue.
Well, Rossovot has the upper hand here, 2 wins to 1. These two have had plenty of battles along the way. The #1 seed is Rossovot. Very steady performance throughout, just didn't really look under any pressure whatsoever. Was challenged slightly with Crude representing Brazil in the quarterfinals, but that was a bit of a wake-up call and a bit of reality check for Rossovot, who then decided to just accelerate from the quarterfinals to the semi-finals and now finds herself in the final of this under 57s. Stoll, one of the top favourites for me here today of being on that podium. Well, she has made the podium. What colour she will take, well, it's down to this final match.
Referee in the middle for this one is Roberto Correa of Chile.
Well, Theresa Stoll from Germany took a silver medal in The Hague, also European silver medalist. Defeated Lipoteliani of Georgia in her first match. Had a bye the first in the second round, Lipoteliani, and went on to defeat her sister, Emily, for a place in the semi-final, where she then defeated Nielsen of Israel. So she's had a steady performance herself throughout. A few battles, but rightly earned her place here in this final. Rossovot, as you can see there, the right hand thrown up high onto the collar, drawing her opponent's head down, looking very strong. As she tries to control her opponent's right sleeves, draws that down and places the chin over to keep it in position as she works for her next move, opening up with the feet, both trying to do the same sort of tactics there, and both will pick up a shido apiece, I would believe, but we've decided just to give it to Stoll this time. So Stoll picks up the first shido. Well, now they've decided both of them should get it. So 2.5 minutes, both picked up a shido apiece. Uchimata. Stoll drawing down her opponent's right side, trying to control that arm. to avoid the arm coming over high onto her collar. Tactically fully aware of the dangers from the French. And the extreme high collar grip. Roosevelt comes over deeper into the opposite side, hooks in with the Ouchigari. Stoll once more controlling that right sleeve and working from there, using the feet, trying to create an opportunity, opening her opponent up. Stoll throws that arm over and the leg with it. It's really given a battle out here against the #1 seed, Roosevelt. Working away down in the Niwaza, trying to look for an opening there. Doesn't seem to be much opportunities there. Referee calling mate. Kosota, oh, and a lovely drive back there. Scoring Awazari in the last minute. Well, this is a great position for Stoll to be in. 40 seconds remaining again. Sheldon's prediction always in the 40 seconds.
Or thereabouts.
Thereabouts.
It's just that time, you know, something happens in the last minute when people start,
isn't it?
You know.
It's a trigger, isn't it, of that clock. Well, can the #1 seed come back? Well, she tried to do exactly the same what happened to her, that Kosota. Roosevelt really now has to step it up a bit. She's got 13 seconds. Can she come back? Can Stoll control her opponent? Well, she's only got one Shido. She can afford a penalty. All she needs is to be strong and precise with the grips. And she does. So both of these sisters take a bronze and now the gold medal back home to Germany. What a family treat that is. And when you actually think of it, Amelia only lost to her sister.
A family affair then, yeah.
Yes. The only loss that she had was her sister, Teresa.
Teresa Stoll ends up with the gold medal for Germany. Right, let's have a look at the highlights and then we'll be back with the two remaining awarding ceremonies. Come now to the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 66 kilo category. The medals are being presented by the IJF Education and Coaching Director, Mr. Mohammed Marija. The bronze medals go, first of all, to Shakram Akhadov of Uzbekistan and to Daniel Jean of France. Silver medal goes to Daniel Kagnin of Brazil. The gold medal goes to Vaza Margvelashvili of Georgia. And now the national anthem of Georgia. Right, we'll take the group photo, then the athletes will have a picture on their own. We'll come back with a highlights package, some of the top moments from today, and then we'll have the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category. And that's what we've got lined up for you next. Akadov and Jean were the bronze medalists. Kagnan took the silver, but it was Margvelashvili to take gold for Georgia. We come now to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category, and the medals are being presented by the IGF Sport Director, Mr. Armen Magdasarov. Bronze medals go first of all to Amelie Stoll of Germany and to Timna Nelson-Levy of Israel. Silver medal goes to Helene Rossovot of France, but the gold medal goes to Theresa Stoll of Germany. So Stoll sisters on the podium, ending up 1 and 3. It's not a bad result for Germany, is it? As far as the medal table is concerned, it's the Georgians who topped the medal table with 2 gold medals. They had a silver and 2 bronze medals as well, so it was a good job there. France coming in second. They took a gold, a silver, and two bronze. There were gold medals too for Germany and Slovenia. There'll be more medals to bring you tomorrow when we've got day 2 of competition from the Tbilisi Grand Prix. But from all of the IT team here and Loretta Cusack-Doyle and myself, it's goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Time 2 for the national anthem of Germany. Bye-bye.